Hey, all my fantasy football friends. Welcome to the Multiple First Dynasty channel here on YouTube. This is your boy Tony coming at you with another show. We got the Conference Championship Week episode of the Multiple First show here on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping in with us. I hope everyone is enjoying the off season. Fantasy is a little turned down now, which I think is nice. It was such a wild year. I know a lot of you guys out there that are listeners are in all those leagues, got 10, 20, 30 plus leagues on some of you madmen out there. So, time to just kind of focus on the other things that aren't fantasy football for maybe a little bit and just enjoy the NFL games for what they were. I'm joined as always with my partner, Greg, the Velociraptor. How you doing today, sir?
I'm enjoying the off season, enjoying the fantasy off season, the dynasty non-point scoring season, and enjoying the playoffs. Yeah, this is one of the times of year, maybe more than any other time of year, when I can just watch football and be a football fan.
Yeah.
And I don't play any of this playoff DFS stuff. I'm just going to watch the games, and I enjoy watching the playoffs that way. 3 more to go.
Yeah, the playoffs have been nice to just enjoy. Like I was really savoring it in the what was the one, the Niners Cowboys game. I have so many players on each of those rosters typically throughout the year in fantasy, and just got to watch it for it's a game and not be hoping that they get the ball to Kittle or something like that. It's just was fun watch. It's nice just enjoying football. But yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. This is one of my breaks, and then after rookie draft, right before training camp, is like the other time when I kind of tune out a little.
Yeah.
And so I probably go pretty hard 10 months a year. And this has been sort of the end of my chill out period. Next week, next Monday, the Senior Bowl practice week starts. And that's kind of, for me, the official kickoff of like the heavy non-points scoring season, right? This is Senior Bowl, then Combine, then free agency, and then turn it right around into draft, NFL draft, rookie drafts. So that's the off-season program. And then you get that other little break before we come back for training camp, redraft season, regular season.
So yeah. So we got there's 3 games left. We got the 2 conference championship games. We got the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers, and going to be just an incredible NFC Championship game. Then we got the the Chiefs and the Bengals, and the AFC side. What are your picks, man? Where you going with these final 4 teams here?
I think Mahomes gets his second, beating the Eagles. I think the home teams get it done this week, and the AFC gets it done in the Super Bowl, which I think is a little bit chalky.
Yeah.
But that's what I think. Well, I take that back. With Mahomes' ankle, probably Bengals is the chalkier pick here, right?
Yeah, the Vegas line said Cincy opened up as the 1-point favorite in Arrowhead, which is crazy. I wonder if that's moved at all. I haven't checked on it in the last 48 hours. So,
I kind of have this feeling that with just 2 games left, they can get his ankle through.
Yeah. I mean, you were talking about the DFS scene too earlier. Like that just got legalized in Ohio, where I'm at, with the start of 2023, and oh my goodness, the advertisement assault. I'm just going to complain about that a little bit. Just every single form of media is just constantly FanDuel and DraftKings Sportsbook just coming at you. If you're listening out there and it's not legal in your state yet, heads up, because when it hits, it's like it's everywhere your eyes are. It's pretty insane. Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm going to pick I'm going to take the Chiefs to win it all again as well, and I'm going to take the Chiefs over the Niners.
Okay.
The Niners are just so dominant, and that is, that's a chalk pick going back months and months. But I just, I think San Francisco's playing better football than Philly is right now, and they can win that game. And I just, I know Cincy has won in Kansas City before, but the Chiefs are just such a chosen team right now to me, I think, and I'm going to go ahead and pick them. So.
Yeah, I really do think that the ankle there. Now, as for the NFC game, I'm betting on the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I do think the Niners have the best non-quarterback roster in football.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about it the other day. Like, if you took one of these like big time QBs in the league right now, I mean, just pick one from the top of the chart, and you dropped them into the Niners, like, you'd have like an all time team. I mean, right? They're just they're freaks. I mean, it's insane what they have in every position across the board. The San Francisco 49ers right now. I don't know. It's wild.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
But speaking of championships and winning it all, we haven't touched base with our listeners since the fantasy titles were decided, and Greg and I, we won our show league, the one we've been featuring all season long, the Dynasty 24/7 365 league. We came up as the champions in this thing. Dalton Schultz came out and put up a 2 touchdown performance early on in the game, and we never really looked back. We had a projected win on our hands going into that Monday Night Football game, and then obviously Josh Allen didn't play a full game, and we were able to work out kind of a split, but one where we get the title and we get more money, so we're the champions.
Absolutely. And to go from tanking on purpose almost. For starters, trading down, building for the future, and taking a not caring about year one approach, and then going to tanking on purpose and pivoting back into making a improbable run for the title. This has been one of the most fun fantasy seasons that I've had. Top 3 or 4 league seasons for me in terms of being fun.
Yeah, it's just insane. I mean, carried by quarterbacks. I love this team, and we are fairly strong, but I've never had I'm perfectly real. I've never had a roster that's like weaker. This is definitely weaker overall, and to win a title with it was it's just wild. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it just goes to show you the strength of the build that I preach here on the channel, where you can have this team right here that I show you in front of you, that is a championship team, and be holding on to 5 first-round picks in the upcoming rookie draft, 3 seconds, extra futures beyond that. Just, you can have it all. You can have the world. You just need to pursue it.
And you see some real league-winning players on there with Jerick McKinnon and Darius Slayton.
Yep.
Those are 2 guys who ended up on a lot of title teams because they gave you, running back 1 and wide receiver 2 performances late for almost nothing, and they were available even, in Slayton's case on waivers in Dynasty at the time, right? So you don't find those often, and digging a couple of those guys up can make up for the capital you sent off to get those extra first-round picks, and all of a sudden you're back in it.
Yeah, man, I know McKinnon was one of your guys coming out. He's a big one you wanted, and I really wanted Slayton, and those really came together nicely. And we traded up in the draft process to get Justin Fields. Usually I don't trade up at all, no trade ups at all, but I really wanted to demonstrate that, and there was a good opportunity to get Fields. We got a good deal on it. I remember, not a winning deal, but just like a nice square deal to trade up, 2-for-2 swap. And he made a massive impact for our team. So
the deal was important. The deal was good, but also just the value of him getting. We drafted him at 404.
Yeah.
He was a high third, and so we got a free round there. So then getting the good deal to move up was great too. But that's a long-term young asset that goes with your 5 firsts policy. You know what I mean? It all melds together.
So what's the strategy for this in the offseason as we look over our roster? What are moves you're thinking you want to do with this thing? Where are you at with it?
Yeah, all right. So, the first thing to notice, I usually start with the roster, but here, because we have so many picks, I think maybe we should actually start with the picks. We didn't get a single non-playoff first-round pick out of our 5.
Yeah.
We ended up 107, 8, 9, 11, and 12. That's the bad news. The good news, we earned the 112. So, you take that all day. But so I think what that means is we don't come in saying, and we're adding Bijan, and we're adding a quarterback, we have to go in like water. So we have to look at each of these positions and say we're going to add some stuff to the middle and back of this group, but it's not like right. But like we
Yeah.
can't just pencil anything in, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to force any moves with it. Like I'd be willing to move like 2 picks and go up and swap into the 101. But if that owner isn't willing necessarily to like be open-minded to a move like that, I'm not gonna try to overpay him to go get that. I'm not gonna let the fact that I have some riches force me to overpay. If we sat and made all what are these 12 picks we have here? If we made 12 picks and just added those rookies in those spots, I'd be perfectly happy. That's a going back to some of my older videos, I talk about this philosophy a lot. Like that's why you take this approach in the startup, because if you do it properly, and I think we've done it properly here, within a year's time, you don't have to make any trades. There is no pressure on us to do a single thing. Any move we make, any player we draft is going to be because it's the absolute best thing to do at the time. We have 3 sound quarterback options. Do not have to draft one. Allen, Fields, Pickett, even Brock Purdy.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Allen and Fields is an elite pairing, right? And so that's one of the top 2, 3 if you're stretching quarterbacks, and one of the top 8. As your quarterback too. That's elite. And then Kenny Pickett has security and upside.
Yeah.
For a quarterback 3, I feel really safe with that. Like
he's like the best quarterback 3 to have. Like that's not like some random elite option. But if you pick it in your 3, it's just a lot of safety there, I think.
Absolutely, right? Because he's not going to be your quarterback 3 for 23. He's going to be your quarterback 3 beyond 23 for at least the 1 year beyond 23. And then if he shows something, he either becomes an option or a trade piece or all these other things. How do you want to handle Brock Purdy, given that you feel good about those first 3 spots?
I don't know what we do with Purdy. I mean, would you rather Brock Purdy or a 24 first, a random one right now? I think that's the first thing that comes to mind. So do we send out that as an offer? Do you send that out to like 10, 11 teams? Yeah.
How do you feel about the entire 49 situation?
There you go.
This is a little bit on our radar for a little bit later in the show. I've made some trades in this regard.
Yeah.
In some other leagues. So how do you feel in general about the situation?
I think he's played at such a high level, and it's I expect the shoe to drop. I mean, that's my personal expectation, but I don't have tremendous confidence in Trey Lance either. I mean, there's a real chance that neither of those 2 guys are the starting quarterback in 23. I mean, I think that's becoming less reality as Purdy plays well. One of them probably gets it, but I am a wild card. I really think there's a strong probability that Tom Brady is a starting quarterback for the Niners in 23. I really feel that way.
At 46.
Yes, at 46 years old, comes in and signs a deal to play with his hometown team that's loaded, that could put him in a Super Bowl. I think that's less going to be Brady's decision and more the Niners' decision, and if they want to bring someone in like that, so it's really weird.
That's interesting.
But if you would talk about like percentages, I'd say like 40% Lance, 30 Purdy, 30 Brady, something like that is kind of how I would see it. From right now, if Purdy goes and wins the next 2 games, wins the Super Bowl, all of a sudden that jumps up pretty high in his favor. But I don't think it's there yet. His volume's really low, and he does make mistakes on the field when you watch.
I see Gardner Minshew. And by the way, know I'm a Gardner Minshew guy.
Yeah, you love him. Yeah.
I do. I love Gardner Minshew. He's fun. He's all these things. And I know people love Brock Purdy, but I think people are kind of way out over their skis on him too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
This is not Brady 2.0 to me. Even if he wins the Super Bowl, we have seen Nick Foles and Trent Dilfer and Jeff Hostetler and Doug Williams win Super Bowls as backup quarterbacks and then immediately not have that job the next year. Right?
Yeah, Nick Foles is the best example, and we saw him he threw for like 400 yards in his Super Bowl. I mean, he played well, won the game, still was not the starter. So, yeah.
Right. So, I don't think we can just automatically assume anything. He's got a shot, right? He's got a shot to come into camp and look like he's even leveled up or secured him, made his best version of himself from this year look like the floor, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't I actually think, letting the cat out of the bag on some later stuff, I actually think this is really good for Trey Lance because to me, he's played well enough to maybe keep them from bringing in anybody and just go, oh yeah, we got Purdy, we got Lance, we don't have to spend a dime on this position.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we can, Greg has been making some trades for Lance. I mean, we don't have to, we can just start talking about that.
Get there, but so to me, he's just good enough to keep them from bringing in Brady or bringing in Baker or bringing in or re-signing Jimmy or but he's not he's and so that gives Lance the opportunity to come back and take the job. But so to me, I would probably put out feelers to trade Brock Purdy.
Yep. I would too. If you own him, I would just send him out, like I said, for a 24 first straight across, like everyone in your league.
I would send him across for any second this
year. Yeah, I don't know about any second. I would definitely be looking for a higher one.
I would send him across for anything to. How about anything 206 or I would send him straight across for a 24-second line.
Yeah, I would ask for more to do that. But I'd do it. Yeah.
Would you? Okay, but all right. So there's I think I could get more, and then there's the what would I take if that really was on?
Yeah, you just want to unload him before the bottom falls out. I want you to answer
that second question.
What's up?
What do you want for him?
What do I want for Brock Purdy right now? I think a 24 first would be my opening. A 24 first straight across would be my opening offer. That's a quarterback.
Do you want to hold him through the playoffs, or do you want to trade him before? Do you want to trade him before he steps on the field again and throws 4 picks? That's my next question.
I don't think the bottom falls out when that happens. The only time the only time he really stands to go to 0 is if they sign a quarterback, trade for one, something. I think you're going to see even with a poor performance, assuming the Niners make no moves and they just enter camp with Lance and Purdy, you're going to see them that's going to be a real discussion. Purdy's still going to get decent draft capital in startups. He's going to be part of the equation until he is definitively dismissed from it. So, let
me ask you the flip side. Would you offer a pick? Would you want to go add Lance and say okay, we're going to sit on Lance and Purdy?
Yeah, I mean, I would do that. I've bought up Trey Lance a few times since he took the injury, not since Purdy's arrival. But I like having both. That's an interesting safe position because you could probably get each of them independently for a reasonable price, and then now you have
less
them both.
Than they're both worth.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
So okay, all right. So maybe we try to buy Lance with one of these picks here, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'd be comfortable giving up one of these, not our firsts. I'd be comfortable giving up a non-first round pick here.
Yeah, we got some twos to play with, and some future picks out there to play with.
All right, so we'll report back to you guys what we do. But I would also be happy to, let's say, package the second and go up into the first with Purdy to go up into the first.
Yeah. And
maybe even send something like this to the Lance owner. I don't know. There's a lot of things to play with.
Well, he could be the key that lets us get into that, the top 4 range. We move one of our lesser picks with a Purdy to go up there. I'd like a move like that. That'd be really interesting.
And how do you feel about addressing our running back position? So I think that's the next question.
Yeah.
At running back, we managed to get through with basically McKinnon and then I don't know, a scarecrow made of straws, duct tape, and a football jersey, right? I mean, it was bad.
MacGyver RB situation. Yeah.
We started Royce Freeman in the championship game.
I'm proud of that.
Royce Freeman and it's one of my proudest moments.
Yeah.
It's right up there with the time I benched Dalvin Cook for Sean Mannion and won. That was a real That was a real treat for me.
Yeah.
This one to get Royce Freeman, I'm going to remember that for years and tell that story, just like my Sean Mannion story. So yeah, but I don't know. We can't count on McKinnon next year.
I'm trying to draft like 10 running backs. I mean, we got about a dozen picks. I mean, maybe not 10. I'm not like putting an official number on it, like, hey, holding this standard, but like, I would like to acquire, if we need to be adding like at least 6-7 running backs into this roster from the rookie class. And that's what we set ourselves up to do. That was always the plan.
Yes.
So it's pretty.
And I actually think the way this is falling, like the running back 3 may make it to 107, and then like all of a sudden you get like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, who are all like a big tier of guys.
Yeah.
Who all have first roundish like profiles, first round dynasty picks, not first round.
Hey, that's 7, 8, 9 spot in the rookie drafts. That's really looking like the sweet spot to me. As I'm looking at real NFL mocks and fantasy mocks both, because what I'm seeing is I don't know what you're seeing out there, but these 4 quarterbacks, Young, Stroud, Levis, Richardson, those are all going to get first round capital. It looks like, and that top 6 area of your draft is probably going to be those 4 dudes, plus a Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan, right? So at 7, you could have your choice of wide receiver. Or any of those 6 names that fell into that spot, because someone took a receiver or they forced the third running back in the top 6. So, really, I think the sweet spot in drafts right now, if you're trying to acquire a pick, I don't have any first, I want to go get one. Go get like a 7 or an 8. I think you could see a really nice return relative to cost.
I don't believe picks. Richardson will be off the board there. I do think it'll be 3 running backs, 3 quarterbacks, the 2 running backs, and a receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my guess.
Well, then you could potentially get Richardson, who could get like a top 20 capital at 7, and all of a sudden, that's what I'm saying. Someone's going to fall into that 7 spot, maybe even that 8 spot occasionally in some leagues that like has a lot of upside. And I'm not vouching to say that they're going to hit all that, but you could get a Justin Herbert, a CeeDee Lamb caliber hit from that spot. Those are guys that have gone in that 7-8 range previously in years past.
For sure.
You could hit there pretty hard.
Yeah.
A Jalen Waddle type.
Jalen Waddle was going lower than that.
Yeah, he was going like 111, wasn't he? Like he was even further back.
Waddle and Devonta Smith were 11-12 that year.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently. And so I really think this is a draft where staying put. Like I for our build, I don't mind staying in that area and taking with a bunch of these 5 first round picks. If you came out with something like Tucker and Charbonnet, and then also Jordan Addison and Anthony Richardson. Like that to me is the kind of look we're looking for. I do think Levis is going to be gone. He looks like
yeah, it looks like the Colts are. He's getting linked to the Colts a lot. I see him and Stroud both in the top 5 there.
I will tell you this: people, Justin Herbert fell with 106 draft capital.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, like people, when the dynasty community decides that they're smarter than the NFL team, top 5, sometimes they fall. So I'm pretty excited about how this can fall. But we do need to address that with some of these rookies. How do you feel about Elijah Mitchell next year? Do you think he's going to be a weekly? Do you think if you went out and play him every week, will you get like top 30 running back 30 production?
No. He'll have pop games. I really like him as a McCaffrey handcuff. I've always, for the last 3-4 years, I've always been targeting that position, whoever McCaffrey's handcuff is. San Francisco 49ers running back's always going to have some value, but I really don't see much in terms of like actual point scoring starting from week 1. I don't see a lot from Mitchell. He's there to spell McCaffrey. I mean, what is that worth? 6-7 touches a game? About? I don't have high expectations for that.
I don't know. I mean, it might be 10 touches a game, and 10 touches in a really good offense might actually play for a in a flexible kind of. I think he's a piece. Let me put it this way: as the rookies work into their roles, I think he's a piece you could get by with as a 2 for.
Yeah, he'll probably have spot starts, but like if the right trade came up where we could move him off, I'd be more than happy to let him go.
I think he'll be valued very low.
Yeah.
I think he might be a guy on some of my roster. McKinnon and I don't think will have any value. So I think we're kind of without any value.
Are we trying to make any moves at tight end? We got Dalton Schultz, who's going to be a free agent. We got Mike Gesicki. Are we planning on drafting a Michael Mayer? Are we, trying to make a move for an Andrews, Kittle, Kelsey type? What are we doing at tight end?
Man, I kind of think we stand.
I think we do too, because it's normal tight ends. There's no premium in this league. It's just a straight PPR league. So I'm so down to just start whoever.
Really good about Schultz and Ferguson. I feel really good about starting the Cowboys starting tight end with Dak. Dak throws to his tight end a lot. I mean, if it's Schultz, if it's Ferguson, that's good. If it's Ferguson, then that means Schultz moves on. I might try to add Hendershot to like backstop that thing.
Yeah. How do you feel? Is there a rookie tight end that's calling you out though? I mean, are you planning on sending one of these picks at the tight end position?
I would be inclined to consider at like the 212 at highest.
Really?
I am not.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So one new thing, so Michael Mayer is going to be a first round pick, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's what it looks like.
So I looked at the last 10 first round. This goes back a long way. The last 10 tight ends that got first round. And like I'm real unhappy with all of those. Starting with Pitts and going all the way back. What I noticed was that even the ones who hit, like Hockenson, hit like real late. They,
Yeah.
So like the better, like Evan Ingram, there's one who has now emerged as an elite option. But is he on the team that drafted him in a rookie draft?
Probably not. Probably changed hands a couple times.
Has Hockenson did Hockenson break out? Like, are you happy that you took Kyle Pitts with a top 6 pick right now?
No. Kyle Pitts has strictly gone down ever since he was drafted. It's just been a steady downward arrow for 2 years now for him.
Yeah. So, okay. Here are the last 10 tight ends who got first round drafted. Going back in time. Kyle Pitts, 2021. You tell me when you're real happy that you spent your first round dynasty rookie pick. TJ Hockenson.
Well, now I am.
Noah Fant. Are you happy that you passed up DK Metcalf and AJ Brown for him?
No, but I mean it was hard to sort out. Hockenson got the capital. I understand the point you're trying to make, but I'll stand strong a little bit on just specifically Hockenson. No, not at all. Not happy about Fant. No, not at all.
OJ Howard.
I wish. No.
Evan Ingram.
I guess now you are, but it's been a while. It's been 4 years. Same.
No, but like you're not happy that you spent the capital on, even with what you're getting now. Still miserable that you.
I see the point you're trying to make. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Eric Ebron.
No.
Eric Ebron had a tight end 2 season. Like he had a huge season where he scored like 12 touchdowns.
Is he still in the league even? Who does Ebron play for?
No, he's not. Yeah. But that was like in his 4th year, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Eifert and Jermaine Gresham. That goes all the way back to 2010. That's every tight end that got first round drafted. And I'm just not playing that game anymore. Like if you want to spend a first round pick on a tight end, let's go trade for George Kittle.
Yeah, I agree. And then that same philosophy is why I kind of do like Hawk, because that's the guy I was targeting with first round picks in the places where I needed a tight end. I was like, I would go get Hawk, and that worked out decently well for me here. So that's the only guy I'm trying to defend off the list. But
isn't that much better than drafting him with the 110 3 year in 2019?
And when you look at the alternatives you could have had, I mean, you could have had a Deebo Samuel back then. So it's yeah, I agree. Hawk was not the pick at that time.
Right. So not a single one of them was the pick at that time. That is my take. So for me, I'm mostly out on Mayer unless I mean, if people just want to drop him into the, if he starts being available in the 205, 206 range, we can have a different conversation, right? But I am not spending. I really don't want to spend my rookie first on tight ends.
I feel
that
it.
Is that is a stand I'm about to start taking.
All right, that covers the tight end position. Wide receiver, that's where we're a little strong. We got the boy, Devonta Smith, the Slim Reaper, number 9 wide receiver in PPR, 24-year-old from Philly, love it. Brandon Ayuk was a huge acquisition for us. He came in that Saquon Miles Sanders trade right there, when we brought in Kenny Pickett and Ayuk. George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, Slayton. Not a whole lot on the bench. We got interesting people like Van Jefferson, Chase Claypool, Tyquan Thornton. But we could definitely afford to spend one of our picks at receiver in that 7, 8, 9 range. I definitely think we're going to take at least one receiver shot there. So.
Is there anybody there you want to move on from?
Not really. I don't think. I would let Claypool go on the right offer. What's that?
How do you feel about George Pickett?
Pickett, Smith, and Ayuk are like the hard holds. I'd be okay moving any of the others. I'd be okay. I definitely would field offers on those guys.
I'm much more into holding Dotson.
Okay.
I think George Pickens has appreciated quite a lot.
Yeah, he's jumped up pretty heavily.
I think if you could cash all of that, would you want to see if the Burks owner wants to go straight up for him?
Do you even want to do that as a Pickens owner?
I do. I think I'm a little well. So yeah, I made a trade. I traded away a George Pickens. We're about to get some trades. I traded away a George Pickens. It's not an offer we can make because we have the other guy anyway. But I got a player I like better and a 3rd round pick.
So George Pickens is currently the wide receiver 20 on KCC. He's the 53rd overall player. Players below him include Jerry Jeudy, Michael Pittman, Chris Godwin, Treylon Burks is one of them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the first two, I would take Jeudy, and who was the next one you said?
Godwin, Pittman, Burks.
No, Pittman. I would take Pittman. Right. Like, so there are some. Those are some names for me. I think Pickens is a guy I might want to move across for some guys who are behind him and like even try for 3rd and 4th round rookie picks.
Yeah.
I don't. You might disagree with me. How do you feel about that?
Well, it was Pickens. He's worth what? 1st and 2nd round rookie pick? Is that what you're saying?
No, I might slide him across for one of these players who was ranked behind him.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
And a pick, maybe even, right?
Yeah, that would be sweet if you could do that. Yeah, I like Christian Kirk down here is valued at the wide receiver 30. You could definitely get him plus some stuff for Pickens if you were to let him go.
Judy.
Terry McLaurin's beneath him. You give me Terry McLaurin and a 2nd round pick. I'd probably let Pickens go in a swap like that.
Hollywood in a 2. Rashod Bateman and Rashod Bateman and like a 2 and a 3. I think Bateman might be low enough that you can get that. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. Those are some names. Christian Watson. I don't know how you feel about that one straight across. Michael Pittman's a guy I would go straight across for. I just think I think Pickens is like a tick high. He's like trading at the top of a tier that he's more at the back of.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So maybe if you can go sideways and get a 2 or a 3, like they think they're giving you a 2 or a 3 to go up, but you're getting a 2 or a 3 and you're feeling like you're going.
Yeah, so, he just passed the eye test so well. It's hard to let guys like that go. And in the more stable franchises too. When you talk about the Steelers, so it's like I don't know. It'd be hard for me to let him go. I'd have to feel really good about a deal in order to actually make a move like that, especially at this point in the offseason.
Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson, those are a couple of guys that I'm pretty interested in. Michael Pittman would be for sure. I think he's maybe a little bit of a buy. All right, so what do we want to do before the draft? Are we trying to strengthen running back with a bunch of free agent acquisitions? Are we trying to beat the free agency at the running back position? Or what are your goals before the free agency?
I'm in a big time hold mindset right now, and this is across all my leagues, but it's because most of my teams look like what you're seeing in front of us, that are heavy at receiver, heavy at quarterback, lots of picks. I just I don't like making moves this time of year. I know people are sending offers, and I'm getting hit up all the time in my message box, but like I don't like the uncertainty in the landscape. Pre-free agency, pre-draft, just so. It's really, really hard for me right now to make any trades that I feel good about. I made a trade 2 weeks ago. I sent John Mechie away for a 24 second and third, 1 for 2. Like, that's the kind of deal that I'm open-minded to right now. Yeah, but it has to be really good for me and not like almost any risk at all in order for me to be making trades right now.
Let's talk about my trades. I've made 5 trades. I've made 5 trades since Thursday.
That's a lot, man. That's so many moves.
I have really been flying.
Yeah.
All right. So, I've been buying Trey Lance cheap. Let's talk about these 3. I sent the 202 for Trey Lance.
You got another one where you sent the 203 for Lance, so you got 2 different 1-for-1s.
203 for Trey Lance.
I love that. I'd make that trade. I'd send an early second for Lance straight across. I'd be all about that. I'd probably send some of those offers out later. Honestly, that seems like.
Would you send the 203 in our league and then have Lance 30?
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. I might even. Okay. I'd probably kick in a player even. Like if someone wanted a guy it's like on the fringe for us. I don't even know. Like a Mitchell, if I had to, I suppose. This is the first name that comes to mind. I would be open-minded to that.
All right. So I think that's very worth thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to tell you, Trey Lance. I'm in a startup right now. Trey Lance went at the 501, 49th overall in a startup. So like for those prices, it's hard for me to look at the 202 and not see a bargain, right? So
definitely.
I spammed all my leagues here and got this. I have at least 5 1s in both. So I was thrilled to get these. So I spammed all my leagues where the Trey Lance owner and I had, where the Trey Lance owner was in any way a possible trade partner and where I had 2, and I got these 2 accepted. So I like that. Now have a look at this third one. I picked up a third Trey Lance share. This is in a 0.75 tight end premium. I sent DeAndre Swift, Treylon Burks, Tyler Algier, and 109 away, and picked up Jonathan Taylor, Calvin Ridley, Dallas Goedert, and Trey Lance. This all started with me just asking.
That's such a smash for you. That's such a good trade for you. I love that for you. That's a really good deal, man.
You wanted to get younger.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to move Taylor for Swift.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather have Taylor than Swift by a mile. And let me break it down. And then, if I could send the 109 for Goedert, I'd pretty much do that in any league I play in a heartbeat. Lance for Burks, I guess, is an okay, just 1-for-1 exchange. After the seasons they both had, they're both just risky prospects with who knows what's going to happen. And then I may rather have Tyler Algier than Calvin Ridley, but you're winning so hard at all the other spots, it doesn't really matter. But...
Yeah, I think it's a pretty great trade. So this is This is an example of a team where an owner came in to take over an orphan, did not like some of the assets they had, and decided to blow it all up, right? Yeah. And this is the downside to the taking a long trading pause thing. It's
you miss stuff like that, yeah.
And they want to blow it all up. Gotta say hi. If the whole league gets too Brock Purdy happy, and Trey Lance is going to be going for seconds, you got to be the one who's making. So, and most won't panic. I made 2 other trades. I made a draft trade. I I sent away the 102 and the 207. I'm getting back Chris Olave, the 203, and a 24 first. How do you feel about that?
It's a home run for you. I would make that trade in a heartbeat. I mean, so you get your 102 rolled off a year to 24. You get your second round pick this year bumped up, and because you took that, backseat in time in the first round, you just add Chris Olave. Like, I'd do that. It's no questions asked. I mean, I like that for you a lot. I like Olave a lot as a dynasty prospect right now. As we look at some of these other draft boards, I mean, where did we see him go with the 4.8 in one of them, and then in the draft you're doing right now, where did Olave land? 3.9 ahead of Higgins and Metcalf. I mean, that's right, probably where he should be, is in that tier area, that 30 to 40 range of overall player, and you get to add a player like that, and all you did was shuffle first round picks around. Like, that's really, really good.
Well, I got to tell you, the 102 was went 205 in that, so that's a big asset.
Yeah.
Like that's not underplaying that, right? But like you go 102 for Olave and a 24 and a 4-spot move in the second. That's but this is something that I got because I had the leverage. I owned 101, 102, 103, and this team is a rebuilding team.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get their pick, but this is like a middle. This is a rebuilding team that had no quarterback, and so I'm sitting there with Lawrence and Pickett and 102 and 103, and I just acquired Lance on this roster. And I'm thinking, sure, I can move one of the two quarterback spots there, right? And put all this stuff together, and then Olave goes to the top of my wide receiver board, which just pushes everybody else down. So now I can move, Christian Watson and Jahan Dotson from like my 1 to my 2, 2 to 3, Burks 3 to 4, that kind of thing. And all of a sudden, the whole thing looks good. I like. So here's go ahead.
Yeah, so much. I was just cheese about Olave and just his volume throughout the year. It's just so impressive, and the future is very, very bright for Chris Olave. He's a very coveted dynasty asset to have right now. Oh yes.
I'm very excited to be holding him. I didn't get enough shares, unfortunately, but that's okay. It was a deep draft. I got a lot of shares of. That wasn't one, so I'm glad to add it. And here's the final one. So I traded George Pickens for Brandon Ayuk in the 307. And Brandon Ayuk was a first-round pick just 2 years ago, and he just finished as the wide receiver 15 with bad quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't. To me, that's great value.
I like that trade. That's a move where I'd move Pickens. I'd probably try to hustle the 23 third into a 24 second.
I tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
But I at the end of the day, I would have, if he had held the line at just flat across, I'd have accepted, even though that's down a little according to the trade calculator. But I'll take the pick on top, right?
Yeah, Ayuk was just on fire. It's so he looked every bit as impressive as Pickens in terms of just play, but he put up more points. So and he's 24 years old. Yeah, I'd be all about Ayuk. I like Ayuk a lot.
Right. So those obviously we can't do Ayuk. Maybe it's Pittman, right? But to me, those are the kinds of Pickens to me is a little bit of a sell. Like this isn't screaming value, but that's a slightly better player with a taste.
No, he's kind of like where you were at with T. Higgins, where he is good, he's going to perform, nothing bad to say about him, but he's just so up there in terms of what the reality is for the player, that if you can get, if you can sell and get all of that, squeeze all of that juice out of that orange in a sale, then it's probably going to be in your best interest to do that.
Jerry Jeudy might be the other name that I'd be interested in going.
Once Sean Payton signs on, then I'm much more interested in Jeudy. I want to get him in there first.
look at the end of look at the end of the season. I thought, but I get you.
Yeah.
All right. So, what else do we have going on? Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, there's a couple things I just wanted to leave our listeners with, and this is just like a little bit of my philosophy stuff. I kind of talked about this a little bit, but just I'm holding across all my leagues, and I'm not saying I'm auto declining trades, but like I'm talking to people about stuff. I'm kind of feeling them out. I've discussed potential offers. I've sent out some offers, but I have to feel so good, so confident about a deal right now in order to make one. I mean, if you're trading rookie picks and you're shuffling around like the 1 through 8, 1 through 12 picks, it's you don't have a lot of clarity in that necessarily. So I don't feel very confident in that. Free agency is going to be tremendous. It's just I'm involved in the game. I'm doing a lot of research, and this is what I really want to impart to the viewer is read and watch videos and stay involved and stay plugged in. But if you don't feel super overconfident about a trade, don't make it. And there's no reason why you need to be like being active right now to fill the void. You don't. Be willing to hold. And if you've been doing what we said, where you're holding a lot of draft picks, people are going to start knocking on your door constantly. And that's what I get a lot in these leagues where I'm holding 3, 4, 5 first. It's people just showing up saying, hey, man, what do you want for this middle first? And they send me some crummy offer. And you don't have to be nice to those people. I mean, you want to talk to them and be friendly, but like cordial. But like in terms of trades and negotiations, like they need to come and pay for draft picks if they want them off of you right now. With this class this year, they if they didn't have them and you do, then you don't have to give them up for cheap or even for market price. You can charge them over that. Everyone's charging above market for every product in the world right now. Why aren't 2023 rookie first round picks also in the same boat? So the big quote that I live by is it ain't what you don't know that hurts you. It's not what you don't know that hurts you. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. So if you know for sure Brock Purdy's going to be a starting quarterback, you know for sure Cooper Kupp's going to come back and be great next year. You know for sure DeAndre Swift's going to have a bounce back season, or you know for sure Tom Brady's going to retire, so you trade him away for a 5th round pick. Like
you know for sure that Rhamondre Stevenson's going to get the workload.
That's another one, and you just can't feel good about any of those things. So to make some sort of deal is a challenge. I know Kyle Pitts going to finally do it. 23 is his year. I'm going to go trade my 106 to go get him. Probably not going to do
Breece
that.
Hall's going to be ready to start the season.
Yeah. I know Kyler Murray's going to be he's going to play at least 8 games, definitely. No.
Right, so,
Who knows? He might miss the whole year.
Be a little humble.
Mm-hmm.
Be a little humble about what you do know and what you do not.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just ranting and raving about it, but I just want people to be tempered and humble. And, all season long, we tried to put ourselves in positions to build a bunker, build a fort to just hold and feel good about holding. Now this next 4 months till the rookie draft in April, that's when your resolve is really tested because there's nothing else going on and people are going to be blowing up your inbox with offers.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to finish off by having a look at me on the clock? Give me your top 3 picks in my startup.
Let's take a look. Yeah, Greg's on the clock in his league here we were messing with. So you got Herbert and Lawrence. What, did you trade it up? Tell me about that real quick.
Yeah, so I sent... by the way, this is a 3rd round reversal, which is the thing for startups this year. Because
I see that, yeah.
The top of the first round is so loaded.
So much better, yeah.
But, yeah. So I honestly think that's definitely the only way to be fair. But even still, I want to be on the top. I ended up at 7, which I think is a really good spot. And I didn't want to move up from there. What I wanted to do was move up from round 2.
Right.
And I ended up giving up 2, 3, and 5 for 104, 6, and a 10. Right? So 2 to 1, I dropped from 5 to 6. And the cost was I dropped from a 3rd to a 10th.
I love that deal for you. I love going up there to get Herbert. You look at the quarterbacks that are available at the time of your 2.6 pick. I mean, it was Watson and not a whole lot else to really hang your hat on. So I love that for you.
And honestly, I have a lot of Watson, and I don't feel great about adding more. He remains. I know you're a Cleveland fan. He remains a little gross to me, and like I know he was the one who could have been there. Beyond that, but like I didn't really want to do that. That was actually part of my thinking. Little part of my thinking.
He's gross to me too. I don't like that the Browns put that on their fans. They brought him in and they made it so their whole fan base had to all of a sudden, support this guy. That was not cool by them. I don't like that. So.
I know, and So you're getting a little discount.
Yeah.
Because you'll notice in this league, 10 quarterbacks in the first 13 picks, and then Watson in both 102 and 103 all went in the top 23 picks.
Yeah.
So that's 13 quarterbacks in the top 23 picks. And then it's over. Tua's a third. Cousins is a fourth in this draft. I mean, these are almost triple flex value.
So you got Herbert and Lawrence. The kicker he has is the 105. So we got two quarterbacks, the 105 rookie. It's the 106? Oh, I counted wrong. My bad. Yeah, it is. I think
it's because we're going there. Yeah, it's 106. Yeah. But to me, that's a great spot.
That's what I was saying where the value line is.
Watch, I have to take Will Levis. No, but so I figure that's probably wide receiver 1. That's my thought. Is probably where that went, which is fine. Great. The two players I liked most there, I think, still around. So who do you like for me now? This would be my fourth. Who do you like?
I mean, I'd probably start considering like the Pickens, Ayuk, Jerry Jeudy tier. All those guys we were just talking about are all in play right now. Yeah, maybe Ayuk here. The rookie would be the 111. I don't have like a best available board because I'm looking at it on my monitor. I'm just kind of riffing off of what I see.
I mean, the tons of running backs who are values by ADP. Chubb, Stevenson.
Yep, I was thinking Chubb.
Henry, Mixon, Pollard, Cook. But I don't love any of that.
No.
I'm not that guy.
I think it's a receiver. Who's your best available receiver right now?
Okay, so
Kittle's in play. Is it tight end premium?
It is half PPR.
Yeah.
Half point per first down. Half point.
Half point tight end premium. You said half point for a tight end catch. Extra.
Half point for a tight end catch.
Yeah.
Right. Half PPR and half point first down.
Kittle would be up there as well.
You got a 29-year-old Kittle, a 28-year-old Goddard, a 24-year-old Muse. Oh, and I'm up again in 4 pick. I have pick and then 1 3 down.
So what you want to do is build a top 4 right now, not necessarily pick the best.
I'll tell you how mine is sitting right now.
Yeah.
Ayuk, Jeudy, Watson, Kittle.
Yeah, I mean, you threw Goedert out there, and Goddard's really interesting, and I wonder if he shouldn't be higher than Kittle just based on age. They're both in pretty loaded offenses, so it's real similar.
Kittle's a top 4 finisher in 4 of the last 5 years. Goedert is only 1 year younger. Goddard is 28.
Oh, is he really? Yeah, Goddard's older than I thought he was. Yeah, he's dead to me. Dallas Goedert's useless. No, I'm just kidding.
So I currently have Ayuk, Jeudy, Watson, Kittle.
I like that. If you can get out of this with Ayuk and Jeudy, you're feeling pretty good. It's definitely receiver.
I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I had Ayuk and Jeudy as my top 2 players at my 407.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty good here. All right, I'm going to take Ayuk live on the.
Take him right after Debo. That's some kismet.
Question.
What's up?
Do you like Jeudy here? Because Ayuk, who's more likely to fall? Is Jeudy more likely to fall?
Yeah, Jeudy did less, and he's got less at quarterback.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, or at least perceived that way, I suppose.
And you're not considering Christian Watson?
No, I think I like Pickens more than Watson, but they're right there. I mean, Pickens would be in play for me here. I'd have Ayuk. Ayuk's the best available receiver.
Yeah, I like the fact that Watson actually scored 9 times.
And you can definitely keep waiting at tight end. Like, you got these double tenths, like, and that.
Ayuk.
Yeah, Ayuk seems like the pick. I love it.
Pick made.
Najee dropping all the way down to the 5.8. It's Javonte.
Yeah.
These drafts this early always look so crazy.
Well, it's what can you count on and what can you not count on. So right, because you shoot yourself in the foot if you spend high draft capital on a guy who blows up.
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget somebody. I was in a startup like a week before the NFL draft. Somebody spent really high pick on Kerryon Johnson.
It might have been me.
No, it wasn't. But it was like it was 4 days later. DeAndre Swift is there, and he's not worth any. And he never was again. He never played again. Right, and so man, these early drafts, you have to avoid the landmine. Yeah. So anything you see weird on here before we go?
Just I mean, is this just a basic draft board to look at? I don't know. I mean, if that's what Najee's going for, I mean, what rookie? So we could, I mean, he's right around like the 109 in price. I mean, I wonder if we would in our 24/7 league, would you send a 109 straight
Well,
across for Najee?
he went between 107 and 108. No,
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. I would rather consider that after the NFL draft before the rookie draft.
Okay. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta wait. Let's see what happens with all the stuff out there.
Absolutely. All right, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. That's the show for today. I like following along with drafts and helping people draft. I don't draft that much this time of year, but like I'm more than down to sit in with you and talk you through your trades and help you out with your picks and sorting the players out and all that goodness. So hit me up in the DMs on Sleeper Stash X. We can do some drafting together. Greg, how do you feel about that? Can people get a hold of you?
Absolutely. You can DM me on Sleeper app, Velociraptor. You can hit me up on Twitter at FF Dynasty DGen. And you can comment on this video on our YouTube page and any of those ways, and we will would love to help you guys out. And if you guys drop us some questions, we'll try to get to them the next time we record. And we're gonna, as we roll into draft prospect season, we're gonna be getting back into recording, 3 times a month here coming up.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff I want to do here for the offseason. We got big plans. There's going to be a listener league, a cash payout listener league. I'm excited for that. We're going to do, I'd like to do like some mock drafts, be them rookie or startup type mock drafts on a recurring basis, be it weekly or bi-weekly. We're definitely going to be mocking the rookies out, just talking about the rookies as they income. Free agency is going to be a lot of breakdown leading into that and during. A lot of content to come. Thank you so much for sharing with us, sharing your time with us. I appreciate you. Comment, like, subscribe. Love it. And peace. We out of here.